Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we've got something really interesting one of you sent over. It's called 𝗧𝗔𝗧𝗔𝗡, Harmonics of a Humanist Heart, a 3-hour binaural odyssey of emotional healing by TATANKA.
Wow, okay, that's quite a title. AI Gen right at the start.
Yeah, straight up front. So we're going to unpack this today. It's basically a web page with this massive experimental music album.
Under 3 hours, you said.
Over 3 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can stream it or download it for free, which is pretty cool.
Okay, and what kind of music are we talking about here? Experimental can mean a lot of things.
Well, they mentioned a few specific genres. Get this. Black jazz.
Black jazz. Okay, right. That's that intense fusion of like metal energy and jazz improvisation, complex timing.
Exactly. So that, but then also ambient.
Ah, okay. So the complete opposite end, really. Spacious, atmospheric.
Right. And lo-fi soundscapes, too. So
Yeah.
you've got that kind of relaxed, maybe slightly gritty feel.
Black jazz, ambient, and lo-fi. That's
Yeah.
quite the mix. An eclectic blend for sure.
Definitely. And it's not just about the genres. They highlight using warm analog instrumentation.
Okay, so maybe synths, tape sounds, that kind of thing. Gives it a texture.
Yeah, I think so. And this idea of healing frequencies.
Right, that term comes up a lot in certain wellness circles.
Yeah.
Specific sound waves believed to have, therapeutic effects.
Yeah.
Binaural beats sometimes fall under that umbrella.
Precisely. And the whole stated purpose is pretty ambitious. They say it's meant to spark creativity, compassion, and mindful presence.
Okay, so a big claim. Combining these intense and mellow genres, analog warmth, and these quote-unquote healing frequencies, what's your first reaction to that combination?
It feels very intentional, like they're trying to create a specific kind of journey.
I agree. That contrast, it has to be deliberate. The intensity of black jazz against the calm of ambient with lo-fi maybe bridging the gap, it suggests a carefully structured experience. And adding those healing frequencies, well, that points towards designing the sound to directly influence your mood or mental state, not just passive listening.
And speaking of framing how we should listen, right at the top of the page, there's this quote, Nikola Tesla.
Oh, yeah. What's the quote?
If you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.
Ah, okay. That classic Tesla line. So they're definitely leaning into that vibrational aspect of sound.
Totally. It's like they're saying, don't just hear the music, think about the underlying frequencies, the energy.
It's interesting applying a physics concept really to music and emotional well-being. Tesla wasn't talking about music therapy, obviously.
I don't know. He was talking about, well, the secrets of the universe.
Right. But TATANKA is using it here, maybe metaphorically, maybe literally in their minds, to suggest sound itself at that fundamental level has power.
It connects, doesn't it, to that other piece we saw referenced, the Google Deep Dive podcast on the healing frequencies of sound.
It does, yeah. It taps into that broader conversation that's happening about music, sound, and its potential for emotional and even creative transformation. So this project fits right in.
So we have this long-form AI-generated album, mixing all these styles, aiming for healing, framed by Tesla. But it gets deeper.
How so?
The webpage isn't just the album. It talks about TATANKA's philosophy. They call it music meets mission.
Ah, okay. So there's a context beyond just the art itself. That's crucial.
Yeah, it's not just, here's some music. They link it to things like ethical AI principles, even the UN's Sustainable Development Goals.
Wow. Okay. So they're positioning their music as part of a larger ethical framework or maybe a statement about using technology responsibly.
Seems like it. Which brings us back to that AI Gen, and the title, it's right there. How do you reckon AI actually fits into making this blend, these frequencies?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? AI could be doing a lot here, maybe generating the initial musical phrases in those different styles. Black jazz is complex, ambient needs subtlety.
Right. Could it be arranging them,
Okay.
layering the tracks?
Yeah. Absolutely. Or even perhaps getting really granular with the audio engineering to embed those specific frequencies or create binaural effects, things that might be incredibly tedious or complex for a human to do manually across 3 hours.
It allows for a scale of experimentation, maybe?
Exactly. And what I find really thought-provoking is putting AI Gen right next to Humanist Heart in the title.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
It suggests they're not just using AI as a tool, but maybe exploring the relationship between AI and human values, human emotion. Is it a collaboration? A commentary?
A dialogue, maybe? And then adding another layer entirely, they include these really potent quotes from Sitting Bull.
The Lakota Sioux chief. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. One of them, let me find it. Here, it is through this mysterious power that we too have our being, and we therefore yield to our neighbors, even to our animal neighbors, the same right as ourselves to inhabit this vast land.
That's powerful. Connecting it to this music, what's the link you see?
Well, it feels like it adds this dimension of interconnectedness, respect for nature, maybe unseen forces.
I think you're right. It resonates with the Tesla quote, doesn't it? Energy, frequency, vibration, mysterious power, both point to forces beyond the immediately obvious. And bringing in indigenous wisdom like that, it suggests grounding these modern ideas about sound healing, perhaps, in a much older understanding of, well, of being part of an environment, attuned to it.
It kind of pushes back against it just being a purely technological thing with the AI.
Exactly. It adds depth, suggesting maybe the healing isn't just from calculated frequencies, but from reconnecting with something more fundamental, like that sense of belonging Sitting Bull talks about.
It definitely makes you think. And it seems this isn't a one-off project for TATANKA either. The page lists other recent AI-generated works.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Titles like Alchemistry, Whispers of the 100th Meridian, Zorar High. There are a few.
Evocative titles suggest they're really exploring different themes and sound worlds, but maybe all through this AI-assisted lens.
It looks like Harmonics of a Humanist Heart is part of a bigger picture, an ongoing exploration.
Yeah, it's like watching an artist or artistic entity, maybe, develop a whole body of work around these ideas, using AI to explore, well, alchemy, meridians, Slavic deities like Zoria. It's broad.
It almost feels like a new kind of digital storytelling, or like you said, maybe digital folk music drawing on all these different inputs.
That's an interesting way to put it. And you see the breadth reflected in the tags too, right? Down at the bottom of the page.
Oh yeah, the tag cloud. It's a real mix. You've got AI gen, obviously, but then well-being, sound design, indigenous music, ethical AI, mental health.
See, that cluster of tags really pulls it all together. Technology, art, wellness, ethics, culture.
It shows they're consciously working at the intersection of all those things.
Precisely. It suggests they're aiming for something more than just, cool sounds. They want it to mean something, to potentially do something.
Right. So, okay, let's try and wrap our heads around this. We've got AI Gen Harmonics of a Humanist Heart.
A 3-hour plus free AI-generated piece.
Mixing black jazz, ambient, lo-fi, using analog sounds and these healing frequencies or binaural beats.
With the stated goal of sparking creativity, compassion, mindful presence.
All framed by that Tesla quote about energy and frequency.
And situated within TATANKA's larger music meets mission idea, linking it to ethics and maybe wider global concerns.
And importantly, bringing in the wisdom of Sitting Bull.
Yeah, grounding it, adding that layer of interconnectedness, respect for nature, maybe ancient wisdom alongside the cutting-edge tech.
Plus, knowing it's just one of several recent AI projects from them.
Which the diverse tags really underline: AI, well-being, sound design, indigenous perspectives, mental health.
Okay, so when you put all that together, this blend of AI, experimental music, these very clear intentions about emotional and mental well-being, what does that suggest? Where could this be going?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? It really makes you wonder about the new possibilities for music in, our tech-heavy world.
New avenues, maybe.
For sure. But also, maybe, unforeseen implications. What happens when AI gets really good at crafting sound designed to influence our emotions?
Yeah, that definitely gives you something to chew on.